Okay, just trying to show you taking apart this BLX 2050 kV 4-pole motor. It's out of a KRATON 6S, so it's a 6S BLX motor. The end cap here, these little screws are, where are we at? 1.5 millimeters. 3 of them, they come out of the sides right here. So there's 3 of them. It's 1.5 millimeter. Get on it good. Do not strip them. So then this comes off fairly, well, usually easily. Take your time. Pull straight off. We'll just put that off to the side. We know there's a bearing in there. That's the reason I'm doing this. I'm going to be swapping out the bearings. Take note right now. If I can focus. My goodness, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, that's so much better. A little bit of crud in there. We'll be cleaning that out, obviously. But it looks like it's there's a bushing, and then the little washers are behind it. So I will attempt to take that out here. Let's see. Okay, we're taking out the little, just the bushing itself is on top, and then it's 2 of these. I believe it's 2. Yeah. 2 of the washers. And that is exactly how they were sitting when they came out. So just pull them out the way they came, and then gosh, where'd that thing go? Okay, so towards my thumb is the bottom, so it's gonna be like a cone going straight up. It's the best way I can describe it. Kind of conical, and I'll probably get my I think it's convex, but that's the way it is. So don't forget that. It's gonna be those 2, and then the bushing. Okay, guys, just like that. So then the stator, the motor stator is gonna come out now. Should pull right out. Okay, I just pulled out the stator, and I pushed down on the pinion part, pushed down on that. It came up towards me a little bit. It compressed it because, man, this magnet is strong. And then I grabbed a hold of it very carefully with a pair of needle nose pliers and pulled out that stator. Alright, so it looks like the other bearing it's obviously right here. So I guess a couple options. Anyway, I guess we could take this top off. I'm not sure if that's necessary, or we might get lucky and just take the screwdriver and pop it in here, and hopefully the outer race doesn't get stuck. So I think I'm going to give that a try. So just stand by a second. Alright, I got that bearing out with the screwdriver, so here it is. I didn't go bonkers on it when I was tapping on this thing, because I knew that the outer race could possibly get stuck. So I just kept on just a little tap this direction, little tap that direction, just kind of coaxed it out nice and slow. Not trying to do it fast and uneven, just trying to do it nice, slow, even, steady pace. And we got the bearing out. So both bearings are out, or excuse me, one bearing is out. We got the other one to do, and can't really see in there too well. I'm sure there's some crud. We'll definitely clean that out with some electronic parts cleaner for sure. So we got the one out. So on to the next one. Okay, so once again, I made a couple attempts with a pick to pry out this bearing, and of course, we know there's no hole on the other side. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and drill a little pilot hole right through the center of that bearing into this cap, make a hole, punch it from the outside carefully with a screwdriver, and that'll get the bearing out. So stand by. Okay, so I drilled a pilot hole through the center first, then I flipped it over, made a larger hole, kept making it bigger, bigger, bigger until I could see the bearing, and then next we're just going to tap that out. So here we go. So yeah, I got the bearing starting to come out, just really gently coaxing it using the screwdriver at an angle, tapping on it with another screwdriver. So I'm not using a hammer. I'm going to put two 4x4 posts here next to each other, and that'll support this thing while I tap out in the middle until the bearing comes out. Okay, so both bearings are out now. Just make sure you get out any metal shavings that you created with the drill, or you could possibly use the piece of bread like somebody else did in a video, or maybe a piece of silly putty, but this is just the way I do it. And both bearings are almost totally seized up. This ARRMA motor is probably a couple months old, so just a heads up, you might want to do this before your bearings totally seize. Bearings back in on this one, popped right in with my fingers, and make sure you add some electrical tape on the outside of there once you put your motor back together to cover up that hole. Just going to show you the bearing sizes required. Two different size bearings. Here's one. That is that's that one. And here's the other. Yeah, it looks like that says 5 by 13 by 4 millimeter. And just a tip when you do this one, since you got to go all the way down inside the motor here, just to make it easier, again, clean this thing out with some electronic parts cleaner. Do not use WD-40, please. You're going to attract dirt and it's just going to be a mess. So what you can do is take the washer, put it onto a long pick, something just to help center it up. You can drop this pick into the center of that hole and then slide the bearing straight down. I'm not going to do it right now because I have not cleaned out the motor. I don't have any electronic parts cleaner on me right now, so that's the way you would do that. Get that in place and then tap it in lightly, tap it in, and evenly with a screwdriver or a wooden dowel, whatever you have. When you are reassembling this, after you put the rotor in, these little spring washers need to go in like this, in like a convex position. These are two together, so those drop down first, just like that. Then and only then will you slide the bushing down. So it's these two first in that position, just like that, and then the bushing, and then you'll put your cap on, and then you'll reapply your 1.5 millimeter nuts, 3 of them, screws carefully, probably Loctite them also with blue Loctite. So yeah, both of these washers were almost seized, and you should probably do this before they took. Yeah, also when you're doing this, make sure once you get that bearing down there, just make sure it's seated nice and level. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Just take your time doing it. There's no rush job. Get each edge and run it around. And that's been cleaned out a little bit. Maybe I'll touch it up some more, but All right. All right, so there we have it. She's back together. Just be careful with the 1.5 millimeter screws that are on here. They strip easy. So take it easy on those. Put blue Loctite on there. And again, don't forget to put some electrical tape over that end if you used the drill bit method like I did. It's really super easy, guys. Don't be afraid to do it. You will have to do this at one point with these motors, or you'll just have to toss it and get another motor, because they will seize up and they will overheat. So the sooner you do it, probably the better, and keep up on it too. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.